So now after kind of that's over, because I think this is common for a lot of athletes, right? Maybe due to things out of their control, things happen and then they're forced into like, they're not given the opportunity to play at higher levels or professionally, right? So talk about briefly, like, how did all of this kind of shift into becoming a firefighter or figuring out what am I going to do after baseball?
Oh, I feel like, so I became a firefighter in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that road to figuring out what I'm going to do with my life, that's when that road came to an end. Was 2019, because I've held different jobs in all different aspects up until that point.
Okay.
And nothing really spoke to me. I mean, I was a coach. I chased money, being an insurance salesman instead of continuing my coaching career. So I was asked to continue my coaching career. I was given the opportunity and I turned it down because it was more of a volunteer position that I wasn't going to get paid. So I was like, well, I want to start making money. So my dad is in insurance and has been for years. So I ended up getting into it and selling insurance. And for me, that was kind of fueled a little bit of the competitive aspect of things. That like, I have numbers that I want to see. Like if I want to see my paycheck higher, I have to work harder.
Yeah.
And it kind of got me back into that. But also it was me sitting down at a desk all day. It was me being inactive. And I look at pictures of myself back then, and I got really fat. I was weighing like 200 and something pounds. And it was attributed a lot to that. Just not knowing what I wanted to do, what the next step was for me. So I actually got a promotion. I guess it was a promotion, but I applied to a job with corporate Allstate insurance. It moved me to Central Louisiana. And when I say Central Louisiana, I don't think you can name any cities in Central Louisiana. It was a little town of Alexandria, and I worked with 20 to 30 insurance agents there, and just processes, how to implement processes, how to use technology. So it was a pretty good upgrade to what I had, but I'm living in this small town, Alexandria, and I had to look it up on a map, and it's an interesting place. It's the Bible Belt. So there were a lot of things there moving from Vegas that I'm like, oh, this isn't even what Georgia was like. But the reason I bring up that move was because it surrounded me with people that focused me back in. It surrounded me with two people that I still contact to this day and still speak with this day that just changed my viewpoint on life. And I was going through a breakup in addition to this. And again, I was overweight for what my past had been, like my very physical, very active past. And I still look at pictures of myself and I'm like, man, I don't want that to happen again. So one of my coworkers, he's like, hey man, you're going through a rough patch. He was a mentor for me. He's like, hey, you need to find something. You need to make a change in life. One change. You have 24 hours. Well, that change for me was going into a CrossFit gym. That change for me was going to the local CrossFit gym there in Alexandria. Man, the rest is history after that. I drank the Kool-Aid, if you believe in the Kool-Aid. So that's where my fitness journey was down the CrossFit rabbit hole. And, I kind of took to it. I had to relearn all the lifts. Everything was a little bit, I say a little bit, very, very sketchy, especially for CrossFit standards, and doing things as much as I wouldn't say out of control. It's not, it doesn't have to be out of control. You watch CrossFitters and people doing CrossFit, and a lot of times it looks out of control, and it doesn't have to be that way. That is, in my eyes, bad coaching. That is bad, just not implementing the right things early on.
Yeah.
Well, that was where the gym that I went to, they made me slow down, and I was not lifting a barbell in workouts right away. I was getting everything back, all my skills that I had learned when I was 12.
Yeah.
And I'd done all this stuff. So I was like, oh yeah, I've done this before.
Yeah.
And it was not refined. So yeah, that was my journey. I guess into CrossFit. I got into CrossFit coaching. I'm sorry, I'm straying off a little bit.
No.
Heck, I've driven Uber. I've done that full time.
Okay.
I did that in New Orleans and made a good living doing that. Man, I've distilled alcohol.
Okay.
So that was my most recent job that I had taken.
Okay.
And I'd done a really good job. I won awards. I took on a head distiller job here in Hawaii. That's kind of what I started doing when I moved here. So I brewed at Honolulu Beer Works, and then I eventually made my way up to Kohana Rum up in Kunia.
Okay.
And I was the head distiller up there for probably 6 months.
Okay.
And that's when fire kind of came, and I was like, you know what? This is it. This is my opportunity to get back, not only like camaraderie and being with a group, a team, but helping people. Yeah. So it kind of implemented all the great things that I'd done up to that point, and customer service, and being that person that people can count on. Yeah. But also being something that it holds me accountable, and it gives me a reason to work out. And it gives me a reason to like push myself like I want to. Yes. And that's where fire came in. And I'm going to be moving here soon. Yes. But I'm still going to be a firefighter. And that'll probably be, the next 20 years until I retire and open my own distillery.
Yeah. No, that's great to hear. And like you said, all of these previous experiences, they've kind of helping you. It's everything that you want in firefighting, right?